Welcome back. Okay, we're going to start now. Oh, hey, welcome back. Okay, so a few things. One, you're probably wondering why I'm wearing this coat. Now, this is called a home coat, and some friends I know made it, and they sent it to me, and it's very warm. I wouldn't really usually just walk around wearing something like this, but we're in my studio right now. My studio is a converted barn. When I built this room that you're seeing I'm sitting in right now, I decided against doing like good insulation, spray foam. I just didn't really do it right. So it's very cold in here in the winter. And I have heaters which work and help, but when I'm running it, they're very loud. So I shut them off. But when they're off, it's cold. This I have found to be the perfect coat to wear, mostly because it also doesn't make any sound when I move. So um, it's good for recording audio. So that's that. Number two, I know I said I wasn't really going to talk about every day the videos that this channel is most known for, but I've changed my mind, and I think we're going to see a lot of that happening on this channel where I'm going to say one thing and then do something else. It's just kind of my style. So this video is mostly about my everyday video. Now, what in particular is this video about? Well, I was going through YouTube, which is actually something new for me. Obviously, I've had these videos for a long time, but I don't really check in on it. So over the years, there's been thousands of comments on that video. I've decided to go through and just find some good comments, interesting comments that have recently been, what would you call it when you commented upon my video. So I pulled these from the last year. I found that notification tab and I went through, and I'm going to go through it and respond to the comments in this video, not in the comment section. Okay, let's go. Number one. A little sad how time running fast, but he is good investor. His kids will be doing the same on this same channel, and they will be rich in 2050. Okay. Yeah, well, I don't have kids, so we don't have to worry about that. Not a good investor. That's why I'm doing this YouTube channel now. But also, I did make one good investment, which was buying property 10 years ago. Now, beyond that, terrible. I'm not good. I'm not good with money. I'm an artist. I do okay, but at the end of the day, we always want more. It's never good enough. I'm fine. But also, whatever. Weird comment, but thank you. Noah is a piece of internet history that not enough people will ever see. Thank you. And yeah, I agree. I think it's arguable how many people will see it. And, it's cool that people think that. I don't know if the only reason I think that is because other people think that. I don't know if I would think that if other people didn't always say something like that, but it's very cool. There must have been occasions when Noah must have been close to not being able to take a photo. Congratulations for 100% record. Well, I've never said it on this channel before, obviously, but I have said it in other places. I have missed days. Over the past 24 years, which is what it is now, I've missed a total of 30 days. And I think that includes like a week or so or 10 days that I lost in a hard drive crash really early in the project. It's funny. Only time in my life I've ever had a hard drive crash was, whatever that was in 2003. Knock on wood that never happens again. But that was a pretty devastating loss, especially so early in the project. But whatever. Meanwhile, every now and then, it hasn't happened in a while, just forget, I mean, it's become such a habit that it's hard to forget, but there's been random days where like one next thing I know, like the next day I look and I'm like, how did I just didn't do it. But it's only happened a few times. I still we could say like every day with an asterisk and be like, well, it's complicated, not every day, but it's mostly every day, so it's fine. Didn't age well. Smiley, laughing, smiley face. Well, I disagree. I think I'm doing okay. I mean, it's weird. I think when you're young, you look at older people and you're like, they're old. But honestly, like, I think for other people in my age, I'm 40. Uh, I'll be 44 this year. I think I aged fine. Mom talking to a friend at grocery store. This is my favorite type of comment. The one that like I'm sure was like meaningful to that person in that moment. And but was she? I don't even was it something she saw in the video or was that like something she was going to text to a friend? I have no idea. But it's kind of awesome. Thank you for that comment. At some point, he changes into Zach Galifianakis. Uh, why do people say that? I don't think I look anything like that guy. I mean, I think he's a funny guy, funny comedian, whatever. I've seen him live. I've seen him in person. Um, I don't, I don't really see it besides like sort of a round face and a beard. But man, I get that a lot that I look like him. Whatever. How old were you when you started this? How old are you now? Do you plan to keep doing this for the rest of your life? I was 19 when I started that project every day. I'm 44 now. And yes, I plan to go forever. I mean, there's no point in stopping now. If you slow down the video to 0.25x speed and start at 7 and watch carefully around 7:01, you can see a half naked girl on the left of the screen. LOL. Yeah, there's some fun stuff that happens in the background. I mean, it's one of the reasons why I like having the background visible. I think it's not only about me, it's about the world changing, my life changing, the places I've been, and the places I stay in the most, and how subtle things evolve over time. And occasionally there are people, and there's some nudity. I hope that doesn't get me banned or something. It shouldn't. That would be ridiculous. Noah, did you take any vacations? No, I've never taken a vacation in my life. And I mean that seriously. I've only gone away for work. My whole life feels like a vacation. I'm very fortunate to be able to do what I do. And um, I've traveled a lot. I don't travel as much as I used to travel, but that always, whenever I would go somewhere for work, it was paid for. I would extend it and stay extra. Like, and that I guess is vacation. But in some ways, I feel like as a photographer, an artist, I'm always working. There is no such thing as vacation. Being idle and not doing anything is uncomfortable for me. So I don't take vacations. Sadly, he looks 49 rather than 39 in the final photo. Disagree. Again, I disagree. I think I pretty much look my age. I even think I might look even younger than what my age is, but I think that person was young. Thanks for the comment though. I saw it 16 years ago back when I thought it was just amazing. Now it's even more amazing. There should be an independent movie made about Noah aside from this. Thank you. I appreciate that. I think that's very cool. Maybe that'll happen. Years ago, a director friend of mine talked about making a movie about my life. I don't think it's that interesting. I mean, it could be. You could make it based on a true story and then like have an element of the guy who does a project like that, but then something happens around it. It's conceptually cool. But if you stuck to how my actual life is, it wouldn't be that interesting. You meant 2000, year 2000, but if no camera or at least digital camera in that year, how is it possible you camera or phone for a selfie? And then someone responds, digital cameras existed in 2000, but they were expensive and worse than what we have today. He's a professional photographer, so he probably spent more money on a camera in 2000 than the average person would have at the time, since he was pursuing a career in photography. I love when someone knows enough to respond on my behalf. That comment was basically accurate. There were digital cameras, although they were very new, and that was one of the reasons why I started the project. I really wanted it, and I think that first camera did cost over $2,000 in the year 2000, so that was a lot of money back then, but it felt like an expense worth taking as someone who was pursuing photography as a profession. And you know, that said, the resolution of those images in the very beginning of the project were just 640 by 480 pixels. That's the maximum resolution. So there was digital photography. It just definitely wasn't very good. Hopefully you take the rest of your life a photo without such a crowdy background. A simple white or dark wall would be better, calmer looking at the aging of your face. However, you didn't grow much older a lot, so well done. Will be more significant for the next 20 years, I presume. Thumbs up emoji and smiley face. Yeah, you know, okay, thanks for that feedback. I mean, here's the thing with like unsolicited feedback like this. You shouldn't do it ever, really. Like, just mind your business. That's cool if you think that would have been good. People make choices intentionally. I did make that choice intentionally to have the background visible. As I mentioned earlier, there are plenty of other people who do it with just a plain white background. That's cool. That was their choice. I happen to think my project is interesting because it has multiple elements in play and it's not just about my face. But yeah, I agree. That first video, I didn't really age much. It was very subtle. And so perhaps this is what they were commenting on, the very first video, not the 20-year version, which maybe they would have liked better. What is the frame rate? Around 12 frames per second, somewhere around 15 frames per second, I think. And then it goes on. Now, again, this is one of those great comments where people are answering sort of correctly. I don't even really remember what the very first one was, but yeah, I think it is between 12 and 15 frames per second. So, you know, that's what it is. Thanks for that. I love that. For the 50 years version, I suggest get some software that always aligns the pictures by the iris so that really only the background hair changes and the face is always at the same place. Much better effect, I suppose. Show time year somewhere in the corner. Okay, well, thanks for the question. Like I said before, don't do this ever on anyone's video. Don't provide unsolicited feedback, but I get it. Sometimes we can't help ourselves. It's the internet. We all have lost our minds. So you did it. I'm reading it. Now you can go back. There's a video called 7777, and we did that. So maybe you'll enjoy that one. I don't actually, I love that video. Actually, I think it's really interesting, but I like how it's not perfect. I think part of what makes the project interesting is the fact that it's a little off. It's not perfect. And that's just kind of like life, you know, like not everything is like always just perfect. So that slight movement over time, I think, is sort of what gives the video an organic feeling. And I think that's part of the way and reason why a lot of people like it. So, you know, thanks, but not really for this comment. Show the year somewhere in the corner. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I don't really. Other people have done that, and that's cool. Not really my style. I like putting the date just right on the top. Just you get a sense. Just the video, you know what it is. It's somewhere in there. It doesn't need to be specific. I do have a website though, and you can go through and find each individual date. So if you wanted to do that, you could. I was reduced to weeping by the original 6-year video that I saw back in 2000. Now I'm just sitting here stunned. I've never been so moved by an ongoing work of art. This is amazing. I love these kind of comments. They make me feel so good. Um, it's beautiful that that happened. I'm so happy. Like it's like there's one thing people can do with the things they make and the art that they make is move people, and that's really special. And so thank you. Noah, you are braver than I. Not sure I could cope with my mortality laid bare like that. Yeah, I can't either cope. I mean, but I do it. And also, when I started this, it was like well before YouTube or just sharing excessively online, and it just never even really occurred to me. I was so young, and in that era of time, like it was almost like it was just going to be on my computer, so I didn't really even think about it that much. Um, 24 years later, when I look back on it, it does feel sad. We do know how this ends. Unfortunately, we all die. A little sad how time running fast, but oh, never mind. Okay, so that's it. That's all the ones I saved. I think that was 17 questions. I'm actually really hot. This coat is working really well. Super hot. I'm sweating for doing this now. But I hope that was interesting. Um, and thanks for watching. There'll be more. We've got so much stuff coming up, so many fun ideas that I hope you like. I'll see you soon.